Our film begins in a strange world, a world whose basic currency is time, and it is divided into 12 time zones from the poorest to the richest, and the ages of people in the world stop at 25 years only, and they do not grow old after that, and they can live forever if they have enough time, and those who do not have time die after 1 year after the age of 25. This and the one who is 28 years old, and this is my mother who is 50 years old, and he celebrates her birthday before he goes to work, and she gives him half an hour of her life for his lunch, and he goes to his factory. On the way he sees a dead person because his time is up, and he finishes his work and gets his salary at the end of the day, which is a new time added to his life. On the last day, he goes drinking with his friend, but he sees someone who has a whole century of time and tries to guess that he will be in danger. But before he can finish speaking, Will and his gang enter, intending to steal the stranger's time and kill him, but he intervenes and makes him escape from the place and recognizes him and learns that his name is Henry and that he is 105 years old and that he is depressed and fed up with the people who die every day, and his explanation of the world is divided into 12 time zones so that the rich can gather the poor in one place and consume them, and he advises Will that he must sleep in a safe place and take good care of his time. Will wakes up and finds Henry transferred all his time to him. He sees him standing on the edge of a bridge until his time runs out and he commits suicide. He dies. Will runs to his friend and tells him what happened and tells him that he will move to the Newark area, the richest area that has a lot of time. He goes to wait for his mother when she returns from work at the bus station, but she doesn't get it because the bus tickets have doubled and she can't get back and tries to run back and meet her. But at the last moment and before he touches her hand to tell her that one of his life's time has passed, she is dead because her time has ended. Will leaves his area and moves on. At the same time, Henry's death is being investigated by Ray, who is trying to find out who Henry's dead year was. Where did they go? And Ray is able to reach Will's location through surveillance cameras. Meanwhile, Will is trying to get used to his new life, and he decides to enter a casino, and he plays poker in front of one of the richest businessmen, who loses in front of Will and introduces him to his daughter Sylvia, and she invites him to their party, and he goes there and gets to know Philip's family, and Will begins to like Sylvia. But Ray storms the party and arrests Will. He begins to interrogate him on charges of killing Henry and stealing his time, and all of Will's time is taken away, and he only has 2 hours left until he returns to his area again, but he is able to overcome those with him and steal his gun and escape from them and take Sylvia hostage in order to be able to get out of the palace and escape in his car. But while he is walking, he steps on a nail trap, and the car flips over with him and Sylvia is exposed to an attempt to steal all of her time. But before this happens, the police are near, so the perpetrator escapes and leaves her with him. 32 minutes later, he wakes up and goes to the place Will had given 10 years of his life when he was with him, and he learns from his wife that he died due to excessive drinking. He goes to sell him a diamond earring for 2 days, but before their time runs out, Self's father calls and asks him for 1,000 years in exchange for her release and that he must deposit them in the time bank within the next 24 hours. He goes to hide in a place near the bank. He waits for the next day, but finds that his request was not fulfilled. So he says to the girl, "I didn't want to take you hostage, and you are now free." And he gives her the gun to protect herself until she calls her father. But during the call, she realizes that he came from behind. She raises her gun and hits him to protect herself. And they take a car, and they flee the place. Will and Sylvia decide to storm the time bank, and they take what they can and distribute it to all the people in the area. And he discovers Will's location again and tries to surround and chase him, but Will escapes from him again and hides in a hotel. And the one he finds in his gang and decides to play with him for all the time he has, and the one who wins gets the other's life. And indeed, he starts to withdraw all the time that Will has, but before the time runs out, he turns the game in his favor and consumes all of 40's time. During the game, he pulls a gun from one of 40's men and kills them all, the last of them. The one who ends all his time and runs out of it. But then Will is surprised that there is a 5.5% price increase applied at once. This makes him lose hope that there is no way to win and achieve justice, and that the matter needs no less than 1,000,000 years. She says that she will bring him these 1,000,000 years from her father, whom she goes to the next day on the basis that she will surrender herself, and distracts the attention of the guards who are with her father until Will enters the midst of the guards, takes a hostage and goes out to his office and opens his safe and steals 1,000,000 years and escapes with them, and Y chases him. Until Will enters his old 12 area where he used to live and is able to put the 1,000,000 years in the bank for the entire area, and continues escaping from Ray, who forgets to take note that his time is ending during the chase. Until Will is cornered, and before he is arrested, his time ends, and he dies. And he is put in a situation where their time is also about to end. They run to the cart that has his time, and they actually succeed in taking him before they die. Because of the 1,000,000 years that were distributed across all the regions, the time control system collapsed and all the regions became equal. All citizens were able to move between the regions without hindrance. Will Sylvia will continue to achieve balance between the regions,